In this video, we're going to look at how a citizen will apply for a sole divorce application under the new law. Once they've logged in, they'll be asked, who are you applying to divorce, their husband or their wife? And were they a same-sex couple when they got married? Next, they'll be asked if the marriage is irretrievably broken down. If they say no, it hasn't, they will get a message to say that it must have broken down irretrievably for you to get a divorce. And they'll be unable to continue. When did you get married? If they were doing a civil partnership, it'll say when did you get your civil partnership? It's just asking for the day, the month, and the year. Do you have your marriage certificate with you? Be asked to upload a digital copy of the certificate. If they say no, they haven't got the marriage certificate, they get taken to a page to tell them that they do need the certificate and ways in which they can go about getting their certificate. Guess that, do you need help paying with your court fee? If they put that they need help paying with the court fee, it will ask them if they have already applied for help with fees. If they say no to this, they'll be taken to a screen telling them that they do need to apply for help with fees before they do their divorce application. For the purpose of this, we're going to say that they have already applied for help with fees, and they'll be asked to enter the reference number. It does say that they can put the dashes in, but it can be put in without if it will not block them. How do you want to apply for divorce? They can choose that they want to apply as a sole applicant or a joint applicant. Does explain that if they want to apply for a joint application and that they've applied for help with fees, then the other party also needs to be eligible for help with fees in order to do a joint application. Did your marriage take place in the UK? If they say yes, they can continue. If they say no, it will ask them to provide, is their marriage certificate in English? If they say no, it will say that do they have a certified translation of the marriage certificate? If they say yes, it will ask for the country and place of marriage. If they continue with the no, and they say that they have got a certified translation, it again will take them to where the country and place of marriage is. If, however, they say no, that they haven't got a certified translation, it does give them advice that they need to get a certified translation and how they can go about doing so. Next is check if you can get a divorce in England or Wales. This is the jurisdiction. They get asked where their lives are based. Is your life mainly based in England or Wales, or is your husband's? We will say no. Are you domiciled? And it explains about being domiciled, and you can read more about the domicile. Again, if they said no. Were you both last habitually resident in England or Wales? Again, they can read more about the habitually resident. You may not be able to get a divorce. Check how you're legally connected to England or Wales again. So then it takes them back to that screen, or they could just click the back button. So for this purposes, we're going to say yes. You can get a divorce in England and Wales, and you can read more about the connections here. And on this part, if they believe that they may get a dispute about the jurisdiction, they can tick additional jurisdiction questions. Next, they're asked to enter their name and then the name of the other party. Next, they're asked to provide the names that are on the marriage certificate. And have there been any changes to your name since you got married? If they say yes to either of these, they will be asked how they did change their name. Next, they need to tick that they agree that the divorce can be served via email to them, and that's where they'll get all of their notifications, and they can enter their phone number, but this is optional. What language you want to receive your emails and documents in, they can choose English or Welsh. Do you need to keep your contact details private from your husband? If they say that yes, they would like to keep the contact details private, they do get a notification to say if you're thinking that you might be experiencing domestic abuse or you feel unsafe, support is available, and they can click that link. Next, they're asked to enter a UK postcode. This again is a lookup functionality, so they look up the postcode. Choose from the drop down. If they live abroad or they can't find the address, they can click this button and then they can manually enter the address details. Does your husband have a solicitor representing them? You've got options of yes, they have, no, they don't, or I'm not sure. If they click I'm not sure, they get taken to enter your husband's email address. It's important you provide an email address so the court can serve or deliver the documents to them online. If you do not provide an email address, the divorce papers will be delivered by the post. They can also tick I do not know their email address. If they did tick I do not know their email address, they will be advised, do you have your husband's postal address? If they said no, that they don't have options for the postal, you do need to get their address, or you want to apply to have the divorce papers delivered in another way, which incurs a cost of £53 and advises them of a D11. If they ticked that, when they get to the end of the application, it will state to them that they do need to provide the D11 before the case can move forward, and that that's what their next steps would be. The purposes of this, I'm going to say that we do know both their email address and their address, and that they're not represented by a solicitor. Again, it's a postcode lookup functionality. If it's not a UK postcode, they can enter there and then they can fill in manually what the address is. Then they can click back for the UK postcode. Are there any other court cases relating to this marriage? If they say yes, they will get given information of the details that need to be provided. Next, they're given details on dividing your money and property, financial. They can click the hyperlink there to read more about child maintenance. Goes into more details about financial order and gives them the costs incurred with the financial order. If they say yes, they get to choose whether it's for themselves or the children. And then again, it reminds them how to apply for a financial order. Next, they can choose to upload documents. If they cannot upload the documents, they will tick that and they'll state what it is that they can't provide. If they were to choose this, then on the hub page, it will tell them that their next steps are to provide that documentation via either email or post, and the details of the post and email address are provided. If they can upload, they would choose to file, and they would choose it from their drop down. Next, to get some equality and diversity questions, they can do them or they can choose that they don't want to answer them. Next, to get to check your answers. If they click the change button, it will take them back to that part of the application where they can change anything within that part of the application. And then they'll continue through. If they're happy with everything, they then need to do their version of statement of truth and prayer, confirm, believe that the facts are stated are correct, and submit the application. Once they've submitted the application, they'll get this hub page. If it is that they haven't provided, they've asked for a D11 because they've not provided the address, or they've stated that they couldn't upload a document, this is where it would say what will happen next, and it will tell them there that they need to post those documents into the court and give the details of how to do so. For this one, it's got your application outward fees number will be checked by court staff and they'll receive by the 30th of March. This is a 2-week turnaround time that we've put on here just for advice. And then it goes into more details about you dividing your money if you need help and the contact details at the bottom. They'll also receive this in email format and a notification too. And that's putting a sole application in as a citizen for divorce. Thank you.